Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where it is a Friday, and most importantly, it is the Friday before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Yes, so we thought it would be fun to invite Liv's mom on, Cindy, and we're going to be talking with you today because, well, you've been a mom to a whole lot of kiddos along the years, and we're going to explain how in just a little bit, as you have done some fostering, not like you have like 75 kids. Yeah. You know, that would be kind of weird.
Yes, it would.
But no, welcome to the program, and we're going to talk with you and Liv, and well, you know, if any moms want to stop by along the way, you can do that too, but we're going to celebrate you today. And so we have a message or two, and then we will be back and talk with Mom Cindy.
Yep.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock and the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
All right, and we are back with our good friend, of course, Olivia, who you see, well, here a lot of times off the screen, and then her mom, Cindy, and we are going to talk about some, well, mom stuff today. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And so, Cindy, tell us a little bit about yourself. You can do it.
I'm a mom of 9.
Uh-huh.
I have 8 boys and 1 daughter, and she's the oldest.
And that's Olivia.
Yep. And then I have 1 boy in college. I just become a new grandma, which I'm so excited about.
And you take care of a lot of people.
Yes, I am a foster mom, and it's a struggle sometimes, but...
Yeah. So let's turn back the pages a few years, because Liv, how old are you now?
24.
Okay, so 24 years, and you have a biological daughter.
Yes.
And that's Liv, and so it was kind of you guys for a while.
Yep, about 14 years.
Until you said you were in the 9th grade, and then you guys sat down and had a chat. So what happened?
Well, we talked about it, and I always wanted to be, help. And I thought kids come into foster care, they come in, you have them for a while, and they go back. That was my impression.
I mean, that would be, I feel like, kind of the impression that most people would have. That makes sense.
But that's not how it works. Like my first foster son never did leave.
Okay.
I adopted him, and he's mine. And then I went on to proceed to adopt, 7 boys.
Are you crazy?
I think I am now.
If you weren't then, you are now, right?
Yeah. The first foster kid we got, his name's Lucas, and we got him when he was 2, and he's now 12. So.
Is that the one that comes in here?
No, that's Ty.
Ty, okay. So, all right. So, Liv, what was it like when you and your mom, because it has been you and your mom and you're in the 9th grade now, and she comes to you and says what?
Well, we've always kind of talked about it because she always said she wanted a big family. But after she had me, she couldn't have any more kids.
Okay.
Because she got staph infection after I was born, and some other stuff happened in the hospital, and she just couldn't.
Okay, that makes sense.
We always talked about, like, her wanting to have kids, more kids than just me. And we had a big family, and then she just kind of came to me one day because not only her, but 2 of her cousins also started fostering as well.
Okay, so kind of a family affair.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they just started asking, and I was like, yeah, like, I've always wanted a sibling. Like, one that was closer to me in age, because I have older half-siblings. But they're, like, 20 years older than me.
Okay.
And she just started the process, and
you were okay with it?
Yeah.
Because I could see that conversation as like a mom coming to the daughter and being like, hey, let's bring more people in. You've been the only one for all these years, 14 years, and now we're going to start bringing more kids in.
She was all for it.
Okay, so I feel like it would go one or the other way.
But, I mean, it was up to her. I wouldn't bring somebody in and her not want them.
I think that's so, like, kind and responsible of you to include. She's 14. You could have said, because I said so, and we're going to start bringing kids in here. But you had that conversation. That's really cool.
And we still do. When, they call about a foster placement, we sit down as a family.
And talk about it.
And talk about it.
all 6 of you.
And some of them say yes, some of them say no, and then we do the pros and cons, Well, how would you have felt if everybody said no and you didn't come here?
Fair question.
And they think, well, and, it's really hard for us. We don't take girls right now because my boys are teenagers.
And that's something to think about. That would get, like, a little complicated, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, but, I just don't want to put my kids in that situation or anybody else.
Because teenagers be teenagers,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
That's for a whole other show.
Yeah. Our house is clear full of hormones right now.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Testosterone.
Oh my gosh. So how do you, as a mom, was it tough for you to hear, okay, well, I have this beautiful child, but now I can't have any more, so I'm going to take an alternative route. So how did you get started on that?
My niece Erin, her and Mindy, which is a cousin, they was going to go through it, because we all wanted to help. That's how we was brought up.
Sure,
Go through
help
the
others,
process. Yes.
help humans,
And,
yeah.
help kids, And they talked to me, and I thought, well, I'm retired now. So, I can help out, So we went through the process, and me and Aaron, the little boy Ty that comes in here, he ain't little. Aaron adopted his biological brother. My niece did.
Oh, okay.
But they look exactly alike.
Oh, really?
And she brought him home from the hospital. But they know they're biological brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, Jackson, he's 7, and he'll be like, "This is my brother Ty."
Yeah, and Ty, this is my brother Jackson.
Well, that's cute, but they get to see each other, which is cool because
and
you're family.
and we try to let them see their siblings.
Sure.
I have 2 that I adopted, and I let him see his sisters and his grandma. Their mom couldn't take care of them, at that time.
Yep.
And you shouldn't take that away from them.
Sure.
Unless there's like abuse or, something of that sort.
Yeah. My mom always tries to keep the kids with their family as much as she can, and as long as they're respectful to my mom and to the kids mostly, then she's gonna let them see them no matter what, even if they're adopted.
I think that's amazing. Because listen, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know what that would feel like because it's hard to put yourself in the position of those kids if you haven't experienced it yourself. But I feel like no matter what, a kid would like to know their parents or their siblings or whatever, just to know.
Yeah, and we'll see Lucas, I can't help him there. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And Ty, he absolutely wants no contact.
Okay. And
That's his choice.
Right,
And,
absolutely.
you know, I wouldn't force him to do it. And with, you know, Jason, I don't know there either.
We just know
Okay.
he has a bunch of sisters, but we don't know their names or anything.
Okay.
And Jonah, his mom passed away. Yeah, Jonah come to me at 15. He said he was just going to be, you know, a respite. A respite's just for a little bit.
Just, yep.
And Jonah never left. And he said, you've got to get me adopted. We were rushing around. And the day before he turned 18, the adoption went through.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
That's
I mean, he was my
amazing.
son anyways, regardless of what happened.
Yeah.
And he goes to Moorhead now.
My alma mater, yeah.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you get started in the process of being a foster parent? Because I know there are different agencies, or I guess you could go through Job and Family, or how does it
Yeah,
work?
I'm not sure about here in Jackson. I try
Okay.
not to take kids from Jackson.
Okay.
Because in case we ran into the parents, I don't want it to be,
Oh, I never even thought about
You know.
too small of a town.
yeah, you know, and I wouldn't want to put the kids in it, the parents in it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if it absolutely had to, I probably would, but I, you know, try to stay as surrounding counties.
Okay.
And I got a hold of NECO, and we went down and talked to them and everything, and then we went through, you know, their classes.
Which they're in, is it?
South Point.
Okay, I knew it was around the Portsmouth area somewhere.
Yeah.
But, okay.
And, you know, we get a background check, and you have to go through all that.
And then you have to go through classes.
Yeah.
Like to show that you're actually serious. And you probably learned something in those
Oh, I
classes.
learned a
too.
lot. A lot. And I'm a treatment home, so, I mean, you know, I can take kids with more severe problems. And some of them's, you know, really hard. You know, everybody has their story, but, you know, the kids didn't ask to have a story.
Listen, none of us asked to be born and put on this planet, right? Like it's a
Right.
gift, but like they didn't ask for, especially some of the things that
That
happen.
do happen, yeah.
Let's talk about the need for fostering, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't understand how critical it is that there's foster parents out there.
Yeah, there's a big, high need for it. I mean, it's just overwhelming. And, you know, the times that we're going through now, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
And
really
what
hard.
do you find that with fostering, do you have more respites, or do you have some that start as respites that never leave, or is it a combination of both?
Well, the respite is like if I went on vacation and I didn't want to take my foster kids, they would go to another home for a couple weeks.
Okay.
But the way I was brought up, if they're in my home, they're my kids, they'll go where I go. I've
Okay.
taken them to Disney, I've taken them to the ocean. I mean,
And you're allowed to do that as,
yeah, I mean
as
you
a
have to
foster
get
parent.
you have to get permission, and the
Okay.
counties, you know, usually don't have a problem.
Well,
with
you're
it.
doing something good for the child. Like you wouldn't think that there would be an argument about that.
And then, you know, you have to get permission from the parents too, like to cut their hair and everything like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What else?
Yeah,
Like
even
ice skating, jumping on a trampoline, swimming.
The parents have to
they
approve all
s-
that.
say yes or no.
But that doesn't really make a lot of sense considering the parents don't have control of the child.
We didn't go ice skating for a long time until Ty was adopted because his parents said he couldn't ice skate, but he could do everything else. It was so weird.
Wait, really? So confused about that. That's very odd. Okay.
But I always try to give them, just like one of my oldest boys, like they had never been to a mall. And he come to me at 14. He'd never been to a mall. He'd never been shopping anywhere. So we made it a Tyler Day. We went to the mall. He got to do anything he want, buy whatever he want. I mean,
That is so cool.
Yeah.
and we tried to do something that they've never done before. And, you know, we try to eat at places they've never ate before, which most of them haven't really ate anywhere.
Right.
And, you know,
What do you find is the biggest challenge of fostering?
time. Time. It's just, I would like to spend more time with my kids. You know what I mean? I feel like I can't give them a lot of one-on-one.
Okay.
And we try that. I try every week, each kid I try to give a little bit of one-on-one time with.
Do you have, you have, how many boys did you say in the house?
In the house, 5.
Yeah.
5, okay.
Well,
You'll have
Jonah will be
6
coming
tonight.
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goes back tonight.
You'll have 6.
And then my oldest has his baby now.
Oh my gosh. Girl, you have bumped your head. So do you have, you have to be organized, right? To have all of this.
We try.
It would be like, do you have, what do you do? Do you have like menu boards and stuff, or do you just wing it every day? Or you try and then you
Little
wing
of
it every
both.
day?
A little of both. We know what everybody likes to eat. We like to grill out. So in the summer, we grill out almost every day
Okay.
Yeah.
because that's what they
Everybody
like.
likes.
And it's pretty easy. It's the laundry that gets me because we go through probably 14 towels a day.
I'm just going to tell you, I know how much laundry my husband and I go through with no kids in the house. I can't even. Your washer machine and dryer has to go constantly.
It does, and our dryer just went down yesterday, so I have to go
Awesome.
buy one today.
Super.
Gotta go buy one.
Because I do my laundry there too, because I don't have one at my house right now.
Yeah.
But we do anywhere from 4 to 6 loads a day. Because right now I do have a 2-month-old and a 3-year-old, too.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been up there helping a lot.
And then, foster kids that I had before, her name's Elle and Mick and Matt, they come to my house, too.
Yeah, they went back to their biological mom, and we're so happy for that.
Yeah.
She worked really hard.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes, she has worked so hard, and I'm so proud of her. And
She messages us every day, sends us pictures.
Aw. So I would have to assume, and I'm assuming here, so correct me if I'm wrong. Do a lot of kids? Is this a drug situation for the most part? That a lot of kids end up in the foster system because mom and dad are making some bad choices.
yeah, that and abuse.
And a lot of there's like neglect. We've seen that often too.
Just not taking care of the
Like
child.
homeless.
Pretty much.
Okay.
That's what Lucas was.
I just don't understand, and this is just me. I don't have any children, but I can't imagine carrying around a child in your belly for 9 months and then not caring for it when it's on the outside. Like, it makes no sense to me. I feel like I would never put it down.
Yeah, and these kids, I might not have given birth to them, but I would fight to the end of the earth for them. They are my kids.
Yes.
And then, I have a lot of people, well, they're your adopted kid. No, they're not. They're my kids. I might not have given birth to them,
Right.
but they're my kids.
Yeah. Everybody that comes in, they're my brother, my sister. I've never said anything.
And that's really cool of you, Liv, because you don't have to share your mom.
Yeah. But I like it. I like having siblings.
Yeah, but you don't have to, and I think that's pretty cool that you are caring and generous enough to share your mom with a whole lot of people.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people want babies to adopt.
Oh, I don't know that I just like I think if you sent me one potty trained, I'd probably be happy about that.
There you go. But there's so many teenagers out there that they're just left in the system.
Can we tell the story of the first teenager we got?
Yeah, I was going to ask you to kind of tell us
That was so.
tell us some stories about.
I don't know if you're allowed.
I'll be vague.
Okay.
It's me.
Okay.
It's not you. You can't get in trouble. So I was 14, 9th grade, and it was the second foster kid we ever got because the first one was Lucas, and it was a teenage girl, 12, 13, I think, around there, and we were sharing a room because we were in a smaller house at the time.
Sure.
And you're allowed to share rooms as long as you're the same sex.
Yeah.
And so she was in there when she came there, and mom is allowed to say if they can have phones or not. And the county didn't want her to have one anyway. She had 2 phones, and she would sleep with them in her bra with chargers on them, so that way mom couldn't take them at night.
Aww.
And then she was real different, because like we had steak, and she wanted pizza. So we were like, okay, whatever you want. And then one night, we all went to sleep, and it was like the night before I think picture day, because you laid out money for me to take. And Mom wakes me up about like 4 in the morning. She goes, she's gone. I said, what?
Like,
She-
Elvis has left the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was in the bathroom, or Mom thought, because she went, the door was locked, and then it had been like an hour past, and she went and like, she opened the door because, you know,
Who's in the
you gotta
bathroom
check
for an
on
hour?
her,
Right.
And she was just gone.
Does she go out the window in the bathroom?
But
Yeah.
the window was up really high, and it wasn't very big, and there was a screen. So she had to cut the screen out,
Which she
and got
did.
on top of the toilet and went out.
It was probably, I don't know, 8-10 foot drop.
This is like Alcatraz stuff, man.
We
Yeah,
lived
but
right
I
by
mean,
a
the girl
highway.
was really, really traumatized. Like her mom had passed away, and I mean, you know, she wanted to go back and see her sister. She was from a county pretty far, you know, about
up
3
north,
hours
yeah.
from here.
Okay. So she was just feeling alone, and
And I tried.
she was.
We tried. And
Yeah.
she stole the money Mom had out for her picture day and all the change. And then, like, about a month later, we found out she had went in Oklahoma, and we found out by them on the news saying that they arrested her. So, because you don't get any updates, because if they don't know, and even if they do, they don't really tell you much.
All right, because, yeah, so we can talk about a lot of success stories, but this is interesting. This is one that's probably, we wouldn't put this at the top of the success stories. So did the girl ever come back, or
Not to
she
me. No,
ran
I-
away? And then is that your choice, or is that like,
No, I mean, I
you
never.
just didn't know where she went?
No, and I was terrified that she was somewhere hurt, kidnapped. You know what I mean?
So as a foster parent, what do you do at that point? Like call the police and say,
Yeah.
my foster kid is gone?
Yeah, and I had to go down and make a report. But here I am driving all over town looking, you know, looking everywhere.
Oh my
You
gosh.
and Tanya come over and stay with me.
Yeah.
I was 13, 14.
And I mean, I was
That
just,
would
I
be
was terrified.
So you're more worried about the kid still, even though she had done something stupid.
And now, you know, she has pulled, I've talked to her since then. She has pulled
Oh,
her
you
life
have?
together. Yeah, I talked to a lot of them. And, you know, she has pulled her life together. She said, I was going through a really traumatic time. My mom passed away. They sent me to my dad. I didn't get to go to her funeral. I didn't get to say bye.
Oh, you're kidding.
But that was her dad's choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they go through a lot and they don't know how to get it out.
Especially when you're that young. I mean, listen, and I've said this here on the program before, girls especially, you turn 12, 13, 14, there's stuff, you can't sleep, there's bodily things happening, you
Yeah.
don't know why you're crying, you don't know, I mean, there's just hormones are all over the place. It is so hard to be a kid anyway, let alone have something like that happen to you on top of it. You know, just being a sheltered kid is hard enough, let alone and having, you know, support.
Yeah, and you know how they always talk about kids coming. I don't know if you've ever seen them stories where they come with a trash bag, their clothes are all in a trash bag. I mean, that really does happen.
Like all their personal
Belongings,
belongings
yeah,
are,
in one
that's
trash
all they
bag.
got.
There's been kids that came with absolutely nothing too. Not a shirt, but the one on their back.
But you know what? They're with me. I give them all the love I can, and when they leave my house, they leave with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they know they can always call me no matter what.
Well, I think the, you know, question that's bouncing around, I hope you don't mind me for asking this, but how on earth, now let's just be honest, you hear this whole rumor out there of, well, people only take in foster kids for the money.
Yeah, I know.
How do you afford it? Because I know you're not taking foster kids in for the money because there isn't a lot of money,
No,
right?
No. Okay, I get a good retirement from Meade.
Okay.
And which the reason I retired is because I had to retire for disability where I have lupus.
Okay.
And that's what I use my money for.
For other people.
Yep.
So you could be living high on the hog, just you and Liv out
And she's losing her eyesight.
doing it. Now, we don't want that either.
No, but I mean that, you know, that's part of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would want someone to do that for my kids
Sure.
if something would happen.
Sure. So you literally, people that are fostering, you do get a little bit of help, I think, along the way, but not enough to make the difference.
Now, you're not going to take them on vacation. You're not going to, buy them all the
Electronics.
yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
No.
The video games and the phones.
We didn't have electronics in our house till last year.
Okay.
And that was the worst mistake I made in my life, letting them come in. Because they don't want to go outside anymore.
Yeah.
So when school's out, electronics goes again.
Okay.
Like Xboxes and stuff.
Xboxes and
Like,
phones
go outside
and
and play until
Yeah.
the street lights come on. I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
There's that whole thing. Like, I can remember just being so ticked off of my parents because they made me come in.
Yeah.
When the street lights came on or when it was dark at 9, whatever. And it's just completely opposite now.
Yeah. Well, my kids was always outside. They was always outside doing something. They go fishing. They go in the woods.
Bikes,
building
doing
forts.
something
and-
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And when they were younger, we used to be known by name at the ER. So.
I can't imagine having that many boys and not.
fishing hooks and all.
Especially Ty, the one that comes in here, especially him.
Yeah, he's accident prone.
One time he wanted to see if a golf ball would bounce, so he threw it down and it came right back up in him. And then he tried to blame someone else. And they were like,
Yeah, you got
"Did
4
it
stitches right there.
It's like Ralphie with the BB gun. Shot my eye out. That is crazy. That is wild. Yeah, I never thought about the ER visits. I'd say there's a lot of that. So talk about, let's talk about NECO for a minute. Give them a plug. If they, if anyone out there that's listening today is listening to our conversation and thinking maybe fostering might be something that they would want to do. I know there's different avenues to go down, but what would you say about them and how would you get started? Give somebody some advice.
Yeah, they got signs up all over Jackson. Mm-hmm. Just call that number. They will talk to you. They are great. They give us support. We have counseling through them. Anytime I need anything, I can call, my worker she's been my worker since I've been there.
Okay.
Almost. And, I could call her at any time, day or night.
Okay.
If I need anything. And they'll talk to you. They're great. They have parties for the kids on holidays. And,
They have a big one every year, too, like during the summer.
for all the foster families and foster kids to get together and everything. Yeah.
That's so fun. So, tell us some fun stories that's happened with the foster kids over the years. You got to have a plethora of them.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. My favorite one is Jonah. He's the one in college right now.
Uh-huh.
So when he had Christmas at his other family, it wasn't huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and with us, you get each other 2 things and it looks huge, but my mom goes all out for Christmas. Like, she really does. And he got his first Christmas with us, he got like 2 or 3 guitars. And his face when he opened that, it was just, it made me want to cry.
Aww.
It was so awesome.
That is so cool. Something that he would have never had the opportunity to.
And just like when we all went to the beach, the boys' eyes when they got on that sand was just, you couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was just like,
Well, it's like another world.
And when I worked at Disney, I had the opportunity for Mom to bring all the boys down because I got free tickets.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And I got half off the hotel. And so that was really cool because they were like in 3rd, 4th grade.
Oh, that's a perfect age for Disney.
we had a blast.
Yeah.
We did. We all wore the same shirt one day, so we get our picture taken.
Oh, I love
And
that.
they just
You were those people.
Yep.
Proud to be those people.
Yep, and they were proud. They were all so good. It was their first airplane ride.
Oh, yeah.
And then, that's the funny one.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, me and all these boys go to the airport right in Columbus.
So
I'm already
you
in
are
Florida.
with yourself
And
And
5 boys.
And
and
5.
5 boys.
Yeah,
And their
because-
ages are what at this time?
The oldest one
Would have
was,
been Wayne. He would have been like 12,
no,
10,
yeah, somewhere in there.
10 or 12.
10 or 11. And, you know, we get up there.
Was it like herding cats?
They do really good, but I was taking my own creamer, so when we got to the
Like
hotel.
for coffee.
Oh,
coffee
okay.
creamer, you know, it was, what is it? I don't know, it's in the blue bottle, it's by.
Powder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And I get up there and we all go through, you know, and then they stop me. I was, okay, well, what's going on? Well, there's something in your bag. And I just bought the creamer. It's still-
Center.
Yeah. And they said it had bomb substance in it.
They tested it when it came back with bomb powder on it.
It was still sealed. And
What the
my
heck's in
receipt
the
and
creamer
everything.
that we're all drinking, by the way?
I don't know, but that woman had to strip search me.
And so all the boys had to stay there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Like,
I
take
said,
your clothes off?
well,
kind of
she
thing?
just went all up under me and everywhere, you know what I mean? And she said, do you want me to do it here or do you want to go in the back? I said, I can't leave my kids. My kids were over there dying laughing. They were laughing at me so hard and I was so aggravated. Time we got on the plane, I think I was ready to explode.
Like, give me 14 Bloody Marys, please.
And you know, I don't think I'm that short, but this woman towered over me. And I'm like, oh, she said, spread them out, you know. Everybody's staring at you, and the kids, oh, mom, mom.
Especially the boys. They're going to be like,
Yeah, because it was me and just the boys, and they laughed so hard.
Yeah, she called me and I was dying laughing.
It was probably one of the most embarrassing times.
hey, you made it through.
Yeah.
So, okay. The question is, did the creamer get to go with you or
No.
not? They took it?
Yeah.
Because it had bomb stuff in it.
But yeah, they had to open it. It had a receipt, everything. I stopped at Walmart and got it.
I didn't know that you couldn't take powdered creamer on a plane. Like, that's just
Yeah.
stupid.
I didn't either.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do at Disney?
So I did the college program.
Okay.
And so you can go down there, you can go 6 months to a year. And I only did 6 months because I was still in college. And so I was
Okay.
finishing my degree. And I got to do attractions. And so they had it was called Kite Tails. And they rode around on jet skis flying kites. And I was just making sure everybody was paying attention to the rules. And then after about halfway through my program, that quit happening because it was the 50th anniversary when I worked down there.
Oh, how fun.
And I got to join Dinosaur the Ride, and I did that.
I haven't been to Disney in so long. What park is that?
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. I've never been to Animal Kingdom.
Oh, it's the
So
best.
cool.
Is it? I've heard that
Yes.
it's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got people off the rides when it broke down. One time it broke down because there was a dime on one of the sensors. They had to take the track apart and everything.
That's scary.
Someone jumped the track to get their phone. We had to press the emergency stop button. I've seen a lot.
Listen, there's been some horror stories about people jumping the fence and they
Oh.
don't end up so good.
Well,
Like decapitated and stuff.
Because it's big, like it's on a track and it's a big safari thing, like car.
Yeah.
Like if one would have been coming, he wouldn't have made it out.
Like, you idiot. What are you
Yeah.
thinking? Like, there's no cell phone or hat worth
No.
dying over.
and then she's seen a lot of fights there, people jumping lines.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, there was one, she, in the middle of the queue, and it's inside, she pulled this girl's hair out, busted her off the railing, like, police were called, they were banned from Disney, it was bad.
Were they together? Did they know each other?
No. Like, there was,
Oh!
I came in, for my shift, and I was like, why are we shut down? And they were like, there was a fight, there's blood everywhere. I was like, over the ride?
Oh! Wow, they really wanted to see those animals.
Well, she called me and she said, Mom, there's hair and there's skin and there's blood. It's everywhere.
Yeah. And that ride's been there for years, so I'm like, I bad.
That is so bizarre.
Yep. I'm like, I'm just glad I wasn't working that exact, because when you work, you learn all the jobs, and you just you rotate, like you pull something and you rotate every hour.
Gotcha.
And I'm just glad I wasn't working there.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, that would have been the
freaking
worst.
Oh, it was bad. But yeah, Disney was fun.
I'll bet.
And my 2 oldest boys, we drove down
'Cause they
to
helped me
get
move
moved
in.
down.
Oh,
And
okay.
we went to Universal and all that, so I could experience it with them without chasing the other ones.
Yeah.
And then we flew back.
Okay.
I think they were more scared than the younger ones
Flying.
The boys got to choose Universal or Disney, and they chose Universal. It is more for older kids.
Yeah,
because
I
of the
think so,
roller coasters
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
So
For
And then
sure.
Me and Mom just got to hang out then, right before, because I was like,
We went to Harry Potter.
it was the day before she left, and I had never been that far away from my mom. I
Yeah.
had only been to college, which is only like two and a half
Right.
hours.
Like that's a call away, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, that far away was different.
it would be.
But she did learn to drive in a city.
Yeah. Oh, my first day at work driving there, I went the wrong way on the highway.
No, you did not.
Because I pull in to go into Animal Kingdom, and I was like, I don't know where the employee thing is. And they were like, you have to go here, because like it's a totally different entrance. And they were like, so just turn around here. And so I was a little confused, but I was like, okay. And then I'm driving, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming at me. I was like, oh, God. And then I call Mom after I get parked, and I'm crying. She's like,
Aww.
it's okay, you made it.
You obviously survived, so you just learned something from it. Don't go the wrong way.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many tolls down
Oh, tolls are everywhere.
Yeah.
We used to go when I was little. My dad was a Disney freak, so we used to go all the time, like multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he had it down to where he had the back roads where we could avoid. He avoided the tolls, but I couldn't do that today. I have no idea. It's been so long since I've been down there.
Oh, but they love it.
The boys love, because there's it's called Cast Connections, and you can go there as a cast member, and you get like a bunch of stuff, like, and it's cheaper, and a lot of it's like damaged, but like it's not damaged, it's like missing something.
Yeah.
And like the ears, like it might have been dented or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so they got all kinds of stuff there. There was like Rice Krispie treats they got from there.
That's awesome.
Mom got like old pans they had there that weren't even that old, but they were on sale.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That works out, especially when you got that many boys. You gotta cook a lot.
Yeah, we eat tacos. You're talking 15 pounds of meat.
Yep.
That ain't cheap either.
Yeah, McDonald's is $100 at least.
Oh, honey.
And people say they're making money from then.
And
They're
that
not
was
doing-
my point from saying that.
I
Is
mean,
like
maybe-
that's a joke. I'm sorry, but that's a
Yeah,
joke.
I mean, if they do, then
then
I
they're
don't know.
they're neglecting the kids.
yeah,
then.
yeah. I mean that's just plain simple. But when they're in my care, they're my kids, and they go where I go.
Makes total sense, and good for you. So, do you regret it? Any of it?
No, nope, not one bit.
Even the crazy stories that have happened over
Even
the
the
years.
crazy stories. Even the crazy stories. I mean, Ty, me and him will argue because he's a little ADHD. But that kid,
He'd do anything for her. He would.
yeah, he told me, he said, Mom, if you ever die, I'm getting a tent and I will stay right there where you're buried.
Oh no! Aw, that is the sweetest thing ever.
But I mean, he's got to know right where I am. Because, I mean, we had a scare a couple years ago where they found a mass between my heart and my lung. And the boys were terrified.
I'll bet.
And then I had to go to the hospital, and, you know, instead of cracking me open, they went through my back and cracked it.
Okay. Oh, neither way sounds good.
Well, that way it's a lot easier than your whole chest.
Sure.
And I told them, the doctor, I said, you know, 2 nights, that's all I'm giving you. That's all I can stay.
That's all I
here."
got.
I came home from Raleigh and watched the kids, and
Yeah.
And there
Well,
was-
I did stay 3.
Annie had a baby then too, and I was watching the baby too. And a 2 and 3-year-old.
And I'd never been away from the baby. I'd never been away from any of them.
Sure. Especially not that many nights in a row, right?
Well, usually not even one night because
Yeah.
they're with me all the time. Because don't take them and pawn them off on somebody. That's the reason I had her later in life. I wanted to do what I wanted to do and not have to worry about, well, somebody's got to watch or somebody's got. Nah, I done what I needed to do. I done my traveling, and then I have my kids.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you've done an amazing job.
Thank you. I hope.
Yeah. And it has to be, I'm tooting your horn for a minute because I know you wouldn't do your own, but it just has to be so rewarding to know that you've made such a difference in that many children's lives. About how many foster kids have you had over the years? Do you have any idea? Come and go? Because not all of them stayed.
No, and so I keep in contact with them. I know 2 of them has, kids now, 3 of them. And they all send me, I don't know, maybe 40?
Yeah, you've had more than 40.
Really? Over the years? How long's that been?
10.
10 years. 40 kids in 10 years? That's a lot. So good for you, and thank you. I think that's amazing, and that makes, you're an incredible person for doing that. And Liv, you're an incredible person for allowing that to happen and accepting all of those other kids into your home, because you didn't have to do that either.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
And she spoils.
Yeah, they come stay with me every now and then at my house.
That's fun. Very good. Well, awesome. Well, is there anything else you girls wanted to talk about while you're here?
Happy Mother's Day. I love
Thank you. And I miss my mom.
Yeah. Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. My mommy's out there too, so happy Mother's Day. And, we appreciate you.
Yeah. And I have to shout out to everybody. It takes a village to raise these kids.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
Tanya's helped me. Aaron, my sister, God bless her soul. Even my brother. Yeah. They all care. You're our family.
Sure. That's amazing. Yeah. Very cool. Well, Liv, while you're here, you want to talk about the gift basket since you know more about it than I do?
Yeah, so we're giving away a gift basket for Mother's Day to a mom that was tagged in our post. And this mom was nominated by Martha Hamblin, I think.
I think that's right.
And she nominated her daughter, Jill Fisher. She said that she is a teacher, a mother, and a 4-H advisor, and she is her best friend.
Aww.
Get in contact with our Facebook page, and you can come and pick up your basket. It is full of lots of goodies and a bunch of different things you can do, different activities. There's tickets for Zoombezi Bay. I know that for sure.
So fun.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
Jill Fisher is the winner?
Yep, and it was random. We picked a number, then picked that number comment.
There you go.
So.
Love that. So congratulations, Jill Fisher. Get hold of us, and we'll get you your gift basket.
And happy Mother's Day.
Yep. Happy Mother's Day. Well, thank you for spending your morning with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was really interesting talking with you, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We have another message or so, and then we'll be back with Pete Wilson, who is in the studio, and we'll do some news. We'll be right back.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Friday before Mother's Day, so don't forget about that, because if you have your mom out there, we can't be having you forget about it, because, well, not good.
No, absolutely not.
Not good at all.
There's nobody like your mom.
No, there
Nobody.
isn't. You're exactly right. So Pete, there's probably a lot of news to get to today, and finally the sun's shining, so we love that.
Okay, well, yeah, it looks like a pretty good weekend shaping up weather-wise, and we're pulling closer and closer to Memorial Day weekend and the unofficial start to summer. So, hopefully all the bad weather, except for occasional storm, is behind us. But even though Saturday the sunshine will be there, according to the weatherman, it will still be a sad Saturday in Jackson.
It will be.
Because a lot of people will be saying farewell to Jackson County Municipal Court Judge Mark Music, who was, as we know, so well thought of. There's Mark, known so well in the public system and the criminal justice system in particular because of his job, municipal court judge from 2008 until his death last Monday. His funeral is going to be, or celebration of life is going to be 4 p.m. Saturday at the Jackson Middle School gymnasium. So
Yes.
obviously, that is a setting that will allow more people to come.
Yes.
So, you're certainly welcome to come and hear some final farewells and some plaudits, much-deserved plaudits for Judge Music. If you don't want to come to the service at 4 p.m., there will be visitation from 11 a.m. on Saturday. So,
Yes.
a lot of time to pay your respects to Judge Music and members of his family and other close friends who were like family members to him.
Absolutely.
But anyway, the Jackson County Sheriff has announced a procession after the funeral, which will be, of course, from the middle school to the funeral home, Mayu Brown Funeral Home here in Jackson. And it's kind of a symbolic roundabout route. If you want to pay your respects that way, you can stand along the street or along the route. And also, this information is being put out so people know what's going on, because it will be a different kind of funeral procession with lots of emergency vehicles,
Sure.
law enforcement, and whatever. And so, there's not a big problem.
Don't panic.
Right, not no sirens or anything like that. But it will, of course, start at the middle school, turn from Tropic on Devon, then left onto Huron, go all the way down to Main, turn left on Main, and then head into the downtown area all the way to the center of town, Main and Broadway, a turn onto Broadway right, and then that left onto Court Street, where, of course, the Jackson County Municipal Court building is, where, Judge Music worked for all those years so hard and so dedicated in the interests of the public and all the people that were involved by the court, and I mean the defendants too, because he tried to do all his best to help them through the drug court and so forth. But anyway, the procession will pause for just a few moments there in front of the court, and then make its way to the funeral home from there. And so we wanted to let you know about that. Thanks to the Jackson County Commissioners, some other public officials in Jackson County, and by the authorization of the governor of the state, Mike DeWine, the flags of the American flags throughout the county, at least the word has reached them, are all at half staff now. If you've noticed that, it's not because of something at the federal level or even the state level. It's because of Mark Music. They are at half staff in his honor and will be until sunset on Saturday. Okay, we also want to let you know that in Saturday's paper, we're going to have a major tribute to Judge Music, kind of a farewell tribute, a little bit different than an obituary or the kind of like news story which we had on Wednesday. I reached out to the judges and former judges in Jackson County, and they all wanted
that
to
would be
participate.
really
They
interesting.
all offered short comments, throw it all together, and it's a nice sized piece. But we're talking about former Jackson County Common Pleas Judge Leonard Holzapfel, former Jackson County Common Pleas Judge Bill Martin, current Common Pleas Judge Christopher Reagan, current probate juvenile judge Justin Skaggs, and former retired probate juvenile judge in Jackson County, Steve Michael.
Sure.
And let me tell you what, they're all smart men, all wonderful men. They all had a close relationship with Mark Music, and some of the insights that they offered, sometimes more personal than professional, are illuminating and touching. And all that will be in a piece that will be in Saturday's edition of the Telegram. So we invite you to take a look at that. Also, the Jackson County Commissioners issued a statement on their own, very respectful of Judge Music again, and highlighting the impact that he made in this county through his service as a municipal court judge. Sure. So once again, fond farewell to Jackson County Municipal Court Judge Mark Music, who the tributes the tributes have just overflowed. Whether it's on social media or word of mouth or by the flags, and the processions and all, just amazing. Some other things that are going on this weekend on other fronts. Tonight, the Jackson County Republican Party will have its big coming out event of the year. It's called the Lincoln Day Dinner.
Yes. It
will be tonight, starting at 5:30, social hour program at 6 p.m. at the Parks Edge Event Center, which, of course, is a nice, huge venue. Mm-hmm. And the chief speaker will be Keith Faber. Keith Faber is the current Ohio State Auditor, and he is running in 2026. He's already announced for Ohio Attorney General.
Okay.
So he will be the chief speaker. There may be some other things going on there. Well, it is always a nice event. Parks Edge Event Center at 6 p.m. tonight. Parks Edge Event Center the next day. We've got a big event kind of on the community side. It'll be the Jackson County Fair Queen and Court Contest.
Yes.
Now, it's kind of evolved, always transforming a little bit, and this will follow the pattern of what they did last year, but it's still different, so we want to explain it to you. They're going to have all the contests in one day. It will start at 4 p.m. with the youngest, that's the Little Miss and Little Mister, and there are times all the way up until 7 o'clock when they will do the queens and the grades 9, 10, and 10 at the older attendants. But I think they will pretty much flow one after another. That's the way they've tried to time it. But that is just a nominal $5 donation. I don't think they'll even make you pay it if somehow you don't have it. But they're asking for a $5 donation. And the pictures of all those girls that are trying out for the attendance and the queen level, they were in Wednesday's edition of the Telegram. We won't go over their names now because of time, but once again, that all starts at 4 o'clock at the Parks Edge Event Center. And I want to tip my hat to Amanda Collier. She helps Angie Eisenhower, who's on the fair board and also in charge of the royalty. Amanda Collier stepped up and really helped us with the publicity on the Fair Queens contest. She got us names and profiles way in advance because, frankly, that's a lot of work to prepare the pictures and the profiles. And we were able to get those, able to work ahead and without a lot of stress, be able to get all that in the paper, which is not only good for us, it's good for the girls and everybody involved with the Fair Queens contest. They will name all the winners on tomorrow night.
Okay.
It's not like the Turkey Festival where the contest decided, but they don't tell you until later. The fair used to make you wait until later, and then they did the crowning at the fair. Yes. They're going to tell you, but the crowning will take place, the official crowning will take place at the fair.
Yep.
And as a former horse queen, you probably know this. I'm sorry, Jennifer. As a former horse queen or royalty, you probably know this. That allows the girls to be ready for their so-called positions because, there's dresses and all that sort of thing. And frankly, wouldn't that just drive you wild stress-wise? For 6 weeks or whatever, not knowing whether you won or you didn't.
100% agree.
I mean, even if you know that you're more likely that you're not going to win than you are win, still you're thinking about it and you're anxious.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
That's the way that it's done now.
Makes sense.
Okay. Another young lady. We'll turn to sports now. We want to tip our softball cap to Sarah Potts.
Okay.
Sarah Potts threw another no-hitter. That was on Wednesday. Now, I know that we've dropped her name before, but this is her 5th no-hitter of the season. No-hitters are great if you do them once. She's done it 5 times. She's had a perfect game. Let's see, how many times has she had a perfect game? She's had a perfect game twice. That would, if she wouldn't have had a hits batsman in the first inning, this no-hitter on Wednesday night would have been a perfect game.
Yeah.
Okay, no hitter means no hits. Perfect game means no hits, no walks, no errors, no hits batsman.
That's
so
wild.
it is a season to remember for Sarah Potts. Wellston defeated Alexander, by the way, on the road 13-0 in that game Wednesday night. She had 11 strikeouts in the game. Wellston is now 16-2 on the season, and I believe they're tied for first place with the Athens Lady Bulldogs. All right, also want to tell you that speaking of softball, both the Jackson and Wellston teams are seated high in their respective tournaments. The tournament,
I'd say so.
The tournament brackets have come out. Wellston is 16-2 now. They're a number 2 seed, and they will play their first tournament game on Tuesday, May the 13th at Wellston against Fairland. If they win that game, they will advance to the district tournament at Ohio University. Jackson is in a different division. They are in Division 4. Wellston's in Division 5. Jackson, at the time of the seed, was 17-4. I think they probably played since then, but they are also the number 2 seed with lots of teams.
Awesome.
Because there's fewer teams in Division 4. I think this is the way it works. There'll be no sectional game. They'll have no home game. They go straight to the district tournament. They automatically advance, where they will play on Wednesday, May the 25th. They'll have to wait 21st. Wednesday, May the 21st. They will play up at Logan against the winner of the game that will be played before that between Warren Local and Waverly. So good luck to both of those teams. Oak Hill will play against number 4 Piketon on Tuesday, May the 13th at Piketon. And the other local team, the Vinton County Vikings, will play a road game against Greenfield McLean at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, May the 14th. So Oak Hill and Vinton County will play next week. Wellston will also play next week, and Jackson will have to wait until the week after. Okay, if you're driving through the downtown area, you work downtown, you probably noticed this. The flashing red light at Main and Columbia is down, if you noticed that.
I did.
I want to tell you what that means. It really should not change the traffic flow so much. The stop signs are still there at Columbia. They've been there all the time. I know before, that you can see this was earlier in the week when they did this.
You still see the red light up there.
You can still see the red light, but it's gone now.
Yes.
It's gone now. And so if you're, what would you do if you didn't know all this was going on? On Main Street, there's no light. Of course, you're driving through if you're on Main Street.
Yep.
The flashing red light was meant to slow you down. The flashing yellow light was meant to slow you down.
Yep.
On the other side of the intersection, Columbia, it was flashing red. Some people were confused by that, but what that meant was you stop and then you go when you can. It's like a stop sign. Well, now there's just stop signs there.
Yes.
The city has not made any move to do change on any other intersections. They've talked about it. So I don't know whether they are or they're not, but they wanted to definitely see how things went here.
Sure.
And they must be happy with that.
Yep.
But if you're on Columbia Street, you got stop signs, simple as that. If you're on Main Street, you don't. And that light now is now gone.
That doesn't mean it's the Indianapolis 500 and you go, 100 miles an hour in front of the post office.
The flashing yellow light was meant to slow you down. And of course, I know there were some people who actually stopped because they thought it was about ready to turn red.
Well, that or it was just habit.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, there's not that many of them, so, it was a little confusing, but I understand the rationale for how it was done. The Jackson County Health Department announced that its public health clinic that normally runs on Friday today will not run. No clinical services or immunizations will be available today.
Okay.
Doesn't give the reason, but it just could not do that today. Let's see if there's something else we need to tell you real quick. Oh, I want to acknowledge the prom royalty at both Oak Hill and Wellston High School. Been wanting to do this since all week, but we've been busy. But at Oak Hill, the prom royalty is Adrian. Hopefully, you have a couple pictures there. This is Oak Hill. That is Marley Daft on the left. She is the prom queen. And the prom king is Waylon Michael on the right. So they weren't the dates now. They weren't but they were prom king and queen. We wanted to apologize to Marley because we erroneously ran a picture that had Waylon in it, and it was his date.
Oh,
and
I gotcha.
At the time, we thought that was the prom queen.
Okay.
And we called her date. We had Marley's name, but it wasn't Marley, it was Waylon's date. So we
gotcha.
apologized to everybody involved, but there they are. Marley Deaf, the queen on the left, Waylon Michael, the king on the right.
I'm going to give her a shout out. That is one of the most striking prom dresses I've ever seen. It was a floral, like, beaded. It is so cool.
It just jumps right out at you, doesn't it?
So that picture there doesn't do it justice as to some of the other pictures I saw of it. So
Right.
that's just Jen's opinion.
Right, and we want to
So cool.
thank I want to thank Whitney Crabtree, the principal at Oak Hill, for helping me with the pictures and the info, and also Seth Fain Photography, who works out of Jackson, does a fabulous job. He helped me as well. At Wellston, they had their prom as well, and they have a king and queen.
Okay.
And there you are. Thank you, Adrian. That is Carter Witt, prom king on the left, and the prom queen on the right is Sarah Shea. So that was their big night as well. I want to thank Corrine Smith Photography, who takes a lot of the school
Very
pictures up
cool.
at Wellston. She was good enough. I didn't have to go to the prom since she
There
sent me a
you go.
picture. So how about that? Oh, and we want to tell you, this is such a good thing, and they were counting on us to get out the publicity. And this is the first I mentioned on TV. It's been on the radio and in the paper. But the post office does this every year, or at least some of the post offices. It's actually the National Association of Letter Carriers through the post office. You know, the union group that represents the mail carriers. They do something every year called Stamp Out Hunger.
Yes.
And it's a food drive. And what they do is on Saturday, this Saturday now, members of the public are advised to place a bag of non-perishable food out on their mailboxes. And when the mailman or mail girl comes to pick up the mail, they'll pick up your non-perishable items. And this isn't going to go to Columbus or New York City or Newark, New Jersey. It's going to go to the Jackson Food Program.
Yes.
So this,
awesome.
I don't know whether this is happening in any of our other local towns, but the Jackson post office let us know that this was going on. That is tomorrow, Jennifer. All right, I believe we've run out of time and out of news. Well, not really, but we've run out of
That
time.
we have to get to anyway. That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. The weather should be getting better as it goes, so that's a good thing. And we appreciate you so much for tuning in. Pete, thanks for the news.
All right, and I want to tip my hat to Jeremiah Shaver. I know he was on Main Street TV talking about the great news out of Wellston.
Yes.
The
So
Jackson
exciting.
Partnership Plaza, or the Adina Partnership Plaza. Adina's going to have a bigger clinic in there and with a pharmacy, much needed pharmacy. He did a fabulous job writing that up. I know he gave you the skinny yesterday, but we've got an in-depth story and lots of pictures coming in Saturday's paper on that, as well
Great
as
news.
all these other things we've talked about.
You got it. All right. Well, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. Happy Mother's Day to my mommy. And we will see you right back here on Monday. Thanks for watching.